Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, for 140 years, Iowa reporters have been on the Iowa Senate floor watching the debates, interviewing senators. They send reports back to radio stations, daily and weekly newspapers, websites, and TV stations across Iowa. Last week, Iowa Senate Republicans announced they are preventing journalists from using press row to cover the Senate. Let me be very clear to everyone watching at home. Senate Democrats were not included in this decision. We oppose this policy in the strongest possible terms and believe the press should be able to do their jobs from the press bench. That's what the press bench is for. Bill Petrosky, who covered Iowa state politics for nearly 40 years for the Des Moines Register, called this decision, quote, terrible for the public and terrible for readers. If Senate Republicans would like our help, Senate Democrats would be happy to work with Senate Republicans on a bipartisan basis to craft a policy to address your concerns and bring the press back to the press bench. Just this morning, I received a short email from Greg Norfleet, a constituent of mine and the editor of the West Branch Times in Cedar County. He wrote, Senator Wahls, I would urge you to use your friendships with Republican leadership to reconsider moving reporters off the Senate floor. Yes, there are a number of new media outlets, and the Senate press seats are finite. May I recommend that a certain percentage of seats go to media outlets that have demonstrated a commitment to covering the Senate by appearing in person to occupy a seat. The rest of the seats would go to others, and both sets of seats should be available to anyone if still unoccupied by a certain time of day. According to the story I saw in the Press Citizen from the Des Moines Register, the argument was made that it is difficult to tell what is a true, quote, media organization. In addition to demonstrating a commitment to coverage, I would also recommend considering the age of the media outlet. Third, look at their readership, viewership numbers. Finally, are they based primarily in Iowa? These criteria would give preferential treatment to Iowa media that primarily reach Iowa citizens. It would downgrade national news organizations like CNN and Fox who want to pop in for short-term coverage of hot-button topics. I'm sure that there are times when the issues before the Senate attract more reporters than seats available, so remaining media outlets are used to sitting in the gallery under those circumstances. Thank you for your time. Greg Norfleet, West Branch Times. These are smart, common-sense ideas from a small-town reporter who knows what he's talking about. But in his opening remarks yesterday, Senator Chapman accused the media of having a sinister agenda. So let's not pretend that this is about logistics or COVID or being unable to determine who is or is not a real journalist. And it wasn't just journalists. Senator Chapman also accused Iowa teachers of having a sinister agenda. And the consequences have been immediate. I woke up this morning to an email from a local principal who had a teacher just yesterday request a letter of recommendation so that teacher can transfer out of state. The teacher specifically cited political rhetoric from Iowa Republican leaders like we heard yesterday from Senator Chapman. And just a few minutes after I read that email this morning, it's been a busy morning on email, I received a text message from a small-town superintendent in my district sharing an article about Senator Chapman's comments, and he wrote, quote, seriously, what should we be preparing for as educators? Holy crap, this is scary. Our staff already feels beat up by all the legislation that has come down over the last year, end quote. Iowa Democrats believe that Iowa is worth fighting for. Our kids, our parents, and our educators are worth fighting for. We can get Iowa on the right track again. So in her condition of the state speech tonight, Governor Reynolds should disavow Senator Chapman's remarks from yesterday and promise Iowans that she will veto any legislation aimed at harming Iowa's public education system. Thank you, Mr. President.
Seeing no further senators